Kerri. Today I'm starting a new video series which is called the Straight Up Conversational Kerri Stories, SUCS for short, and this will be a place where I discuss with you some of the negative things that I've never really talked about. This will be the first of the Korean edition. So the topic for today's video is driving in Korea versus public transit. So I'm going to tell you some of the bad things about driving in Korea. So first of all, for this whole series, I must explain to you that this is called Kerri Stories, i.e. Kerri's experience of the world. So what you're getting is my perspective. You're not getting an objective, clairvoyant view of how the world is. You're getting it through my filter from my point of view. If you watch this video and you go, oh my god, she hates Korea, please don't bother watching it, because the spirit of this video is to give you information and to share some of my personal experiences in order to help you make better choices about whether you want to live in Korea or about whatever it is. I mean, I'm just offering my experience, my perspective. So if you comment like, you hate Korea so much, you should just leave, that's not really a very useful type of comment. So I would encourage you to think about what you comment before you do. So let's get started. Okay, driving in Korea. First of all, the first thing I noticed when I came to Korea is that drivers tend to use the horn before the brake, or the horn in substitution for the brake. So you will hear a lot of horn honking all the time. And people tend to honk in order to indicate that they're gonna do something. They're gonna come up behind you, they'll honk, and then they'll kind of come around. So honking is a huge thing. Lane changing, also really, really important. Lots of swervy action, lots of lack of signaling, lots of speeding, lots of running red lights, which is very shocking when you come from Canada, where you run a red light by accident and you go, oh my gosh, I'm so bad. And then in Korea, running a red light is not such a big deal. There's also a tendency for everyone to have a GPS in their car, which knows where speed cameras are. So everyone speeds on the highway, and then everyone suddenly slows down when they get in the zone of the camera, and they make through the zone at the speed limit, and then they speed up again, so kind of dangerous. And there are also TVs in the taxis. A lot of taxis have TVs broadcasting like dramas or sports news or something, and the driver will stop at the light and pay attention to the TV and watch the TV, and you're kind of thinking, shouldn't you be watching the road? But that's just a reality. So driving in Korea can be pretty messy, can be pretty scary. I've seen a lot of really gross, horrible accidents, motorcycles and all that. Like, I've seen these things. I mean, I've seen them in Canada too, but I won't lie and say that driving is really fun in Korea. It can be really daunting and quite scary. I also don't have a driver's license, so you can make fun of me for that, and I should have a driver's license as a 28-year-old woman, but I don't. I don't really like driving that much. I like being a passenger. So anyway, I've never actually driven in Korea. I have driven in lots of taxis. It's my main experience of being in a car, but I also was in a relationship with someone who did have a car, so I did spend a lot of time in a car with someone. So I have done that. I have taken a lot of taxis, so I have experience as a passenger, and sometimes it's a little bit scary. It's the same in China. When I arrived in Shanghai for the first time, when we went from the airport into downtown Shanghai, I remember looking at the speedometer and he was going about 130, and it was really scary. We were just like blasting down this highway, and it was just like, ooh, I'm kind of scared right now. So I don't think it's an exclusively Korean thing. It could be Asian thing. I'm not gonna generalize that, but I will just say in Korea and in China, it was kind of scary. So what's the alternate to this crazy driving? Well, you have amazing public transit. Okay, so public transit is tops in South Korea. It's some of the best public transit I've ever seen in the world. You have incredible, cheap, reliable, and regular intercity buses between major cities. So if you want to go Seoul to Busan, you can take the KTX, which will get you there faster than life. You can imagine how fast your train is going. You pay about $40 and you have an amazing smooth ride all the way there. So it's pretty amazing. You can also pay for a bus. You won't pay more than maybe $30-$40 for a bus ride anywhere in Korea. I mean, someone can probably correct me and say, actually, if you go from this point to this point, you would do so many transfers that you would actually end up spending more money. But I don't know. For me, I've never spent more than 35,000 won on a bus ride. And it's incredible. It's fast. Big, comfortable seats. You get a seat number, so you're actually assigned a spot. Whereas here in Canada, if you take the Greyhound, you don't have a seat assigned to you. You just kind of hope that there's a spot for you and you end up sitting in the back next to the washroom. That's another thing. The intercity buses don't have washrooms on them, but they do make regular stops. So when I would take the bus from Jinju to Seoul, we would stop halfway, about 2 hours into the trip, and we would have about a 15-minute stop where you can use the bathroom and buy great little snacks. I have made some videos from the intercity bus stations, which you can see somewhere. Sometimes there's musicians, sometimes there's different snacks, steamed corn, or the hodokwaja, the walnut cakey dessert things are so delicious, and it's really a wonderful experience. Also, you have the subways. Busan, Daejeon, Daegu, Seoul, and maybe one other one that I'm forgetting, all have subway systems. The subway is clean, fast, regular, efficient, and just basically it's a pleasure to take. I mean, it's usually full of people, and they do have rush hour, and it does get really cramped, and you have no personal space, but it's pretty cool. For the most part, the subway is a fantastic way to get around major cities in Korea. And another thing about the public transit is that the citizens really obey the rules. That means when you're waiting for the intercity bus to pick you up and you know which number you need, you're taking the 1100 back to Incheon, and you're waiting in Gangnam for your bus to come, everyone is standing in a very nice queue, and they're all waiting single file for the bus. So there's no kind of sense of crowding or pushing. I mean, actually there is pushing, but no one will really butt in front of you, except old ladies, but they're allowed to because of the Confucianism, which we'll get to in a later video. So there is pushing, I won't say there isn't, but there is a sense of order. Like, this person has been waiting first, they get first on the bus. That kind of exists with the exception of old ladies and really rude people, but generally you'll experience a lot of niceness, a lot of pleasantries. I don't know how to explain it, but you will see the queue. You will see an orderly line of people, which is kind of different than here in Canada. People like bunch around the door and they kind of just jump in. Oh, another thing, seatbelts, not very commonly used, unfortunately. I have been in taxis sometimes where the driver says to me, put your seatbelt on it, but sometimes there's not a lot of seatbelt usage. So, I don't know any statistics about accidents in South Korea versus accidents in Canada or other places in Asia, but I do know that driving can be a little scary. So that's all I wanted to say for this video. If you like this concept of this series of the Sucks videos, please leave a comment. You can subscribe to my channel at Expatkerri. You'll be hearing lots more about Korea and some of the negative things and the positive things about living there in the straight up conversational Kerri stories video series. So I hope you like this, and please like this video, share it with your friends, and send me a tweet. See you in the next video. Bye! Hi everybody, this is Kerri.